Hi everyone, Dr. Tom McEwan here at ImageLift. We are following up with a very special patient today. This is Charity, our office manager here at the Villages location, and she is 2 months out from a deep plane facelift and deep neck lift. And we've been showing her story as she has went through, and I think there was a video done shortly after the time of surgery, and then been collecting a lot of before and afters. But we wanted to get back to y'all now that it's been a little bit, and she's had a chance to go through the whole healing process. We just talked about how all the swelling is gone. She's back to her normal routine, doing all of her normal activities. And so to give a little background history here, and I apologize if I'm stealing your thunder.
No, it's your thunder.
Charity has had some unexpected medical issues over the last few years, which have caused quite a bit of change to her life. And one of those changes was some weight fluctuation. And she is now on the other side of that, doing very well. And she lost a ton of weight, which left behind a classic sign of facial aging. So we can show you in before and afters here. This is obviously the front view here. This is her before and her after. But really, where you see it is on the next one here. So before surgery, she had a lot of extra redundant skin and fullness down in the chin. And that is, very purely a product of her weight fluctuation. It obviously makes you look very different than what your anatomy should be because all of that skin and muscle has been stretched out. So after a lot of hard thinking and a lot of taking care of herself and getting all of her little ducks in a row, we embarked on a deep plane facelift and neck lift. So that is one surgically where I love to use the analogy of the layers of anatomy are like layers of a cake. So in the face we have skin, soft tissue, muscle layer, or what we call the SMAS. And in a deep plane facelift, we get under that layer, release the ligaments that are holding it essentially in the wrong spot or kind of tethering it in the wrong spot, which allows us to reduce those tissues back up to where they came from. Do a very similar approach in the neck. There we tighten the muscle both in the midline and behind the ears to kind of create a hammock out of that muscle, which pulls everything back up under the jawbone where it should be, which is the structural difference that you see between this picture and this picture. So we did that about 2 months ago. She has done fantastic. I absolutely adore her and I love her results. And I'm going to let her tell her story.
I am very thankful, as you can imagine, and he did tell you correctly that I did take a very long time in making this decision. In fact, putting myself on and off the schedule for quite a while. And then he says on July 1st, let's do it. So we did it on July 3rd. So that I wouldn't have time to then pull myself off the schedule again. But I am very grateful, and it really is life-changing when you're able to see your picture and not see all of the medical issues that you've had on your face. Because when I would look in the mirror, I really was looking at a very sick person that was 8 years ago that had a difficult time. So to now be able to look into the mirror and not see that is very powerful. So I'm very grateful because this is me. And now my family all said no, not to have anything done. And so now they say I look like me again. So I'm very grateful for that. This team, Dr. Tom, his patience and his care, and our team here has been absolutely amazing. Everyone checked on me. Everyone made sure I was doing okay, and I'm very grateful.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for sharing your story. It's so heartwarming. I have been very fond of your stories and sharing, and the one that always just makes me smile is you would share how before surgery, like when there were family pictures, you would strategically place the kids in the family so that nobody could see the double chin, and the camera had to be over here and the light over there and all the things. And now you're like, no, get the kid out of the way, show the side of my face. I love that.
Yes, my selfies have have taken a whole different role. Even my daughters are like, oh, I don't have to get on the chair for your picture, because I would have them get on the chair, or I wanted my tripod to be up so that it would not show this. And now I say, you know, we can pull this back and you can just take a picture here when I blow out my candles for my 50th birthday.
Right. Oh, I love it. My other favorite story is afterwards, when we first put your before and afters together, you know, we were looking at this, and before surgery you had shared that it was really your neck that was driving you crazy.
It was only my neck the only thing that I said was I didn't want
the neck.
Didn't
want the neck. Had to use the grandkid to hide the neck, right? And then I was looking at these afterwards, and so, you know, both, I think on the day of surgery, we were both really honed in on the neck, but then it's just such an amazing transformation here. You know, she doesn't really have a huge jowl here. There's some, but the heaviness in the cheeks was something I think we both underappreciated before.
Correct.
And afterwards, we were looking at these, and we're like, look at the difference. I mean, it looks like you've got 6 syringes of filler in your cheeks.
I know.
But we didn't do a syringe.
No.
And that's all with that deep plane lift going in, getting that cheek volume, which is right here in this picture, back up on the cheekbone in this picture. And just the, you know, you can say more youthful, you can say fresher, refreshed, rested, but just brighter is the word that comes to my mind.
It is.
It's just, you know, it's not as like powerful from a jowl standpoint, because you didn't have these really heavy jowls that we see sometimes, but still such an amazing difference.
It is.
From one to the other.
It is. I told her, I have a jawline, and I have a cheek line that I don't even know that I've ever seen. I mean, I saw it probably when I was in high school, it was there, but after children and changes with your body, you don't, and menopause, we're never told, you know, how much bone loss we're gonna have or how much hollowing we're gonna have. And I was amazed that, you know, we don't always notice those things until we get something like this that is, you know, it is transformation, total transformation.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, thank you for taking a few minutes to share.
Thank you.
Again, Dr. Tom McEwan here at ImageLift with our regional manager, Charity. If you have any questions, want to come in and chat, anything like that, just give us a call.